I am sitting here today alongside a waterfall because I want to give you an easy way to understand exposure. Simply put, exposure is the amount of light that reaches your camera sensor. We aren't usually used to thinking of light in terms of quantity, but when it comes to photography, that is exactly what proper exposure is, capturing the exact right quantity of light. Because it's hard to visualize light filling up a space, let's think about water instead. Imagine we need to fill a chamber, like a bucket, with water from a waterfall. To get a perfectly exposed picture, that bucket has to be exactly full. Not half empty and definitely not overflowing. If we try to fill the open bucket from the waterfall, most of the water will just splash out of the bucket. We need a way to control the water entering the bucket. In this analogy, the opening at the top of the bucket is your camera's aperture. The cork plugging that hole is your shutter. Just like the blazing sun, the waterfall provides much more than we actually need, so to get the right amount, we pull the cork. It's easy to see that if the hole, the aperture, is larger, the bucket fills up much faster. And it's also clear that the cork, the shutter, has to be pulled out to start the flow and quickly replace the absolute second the bucket is full. This is the absolute essence of exposure. The larger your aperture, the easier it is for light to rush in. And when enough light has entered, your shutter has to close. Because of this relationship, you can change how you get that perfect quantity of light. If you make the hole smaller, you simply leave the cork out a little longer. It's the exact same exposure, just achieved in a different way. But what happens when the sun goes down and a roaring waterfall shrinks to a tiny, weak trickle? If you can't make the hole any larger, and you can't leave the cork out any longer without getting a blurry photo, how do you fill the bucket to get your proper exposure? This is where your camera's ISO comes to the rescue. Think of ISO as a pressure pump attached to your water source. When you turn up the ISO, you are turning up the pressure. It takes that weak trickle of water and blasts it through the hole with incredible force. Because the water is pressurized, the bucket fills up in a flash. You achieve your proper exposure without needing a larger hole or slower shutter speed. Now, there used to be a significant catch. In the past, turning up the pressure too high created a lot of turbulence and splashing in the bucket. In photography, we call that turbulence digital noise or grain. But camera technology has advanced at lightning speed. Today's modern sensors are like high-end commercial pressure washers. They can handle incredible amounts of pressure while keeping the water relatively smooth. It is entirely possible today to shoot at a massive ISO, like 10,000, and still get a stunning, sharp image. So don't be afraid to use the pressure pump when you need it. It is one of the most powerful tools you have for shooting in low light. To learn more about manual settings and mastering the exposure triangle, check out my bestseller on Amazon.com. This is the second edition, recently updated to 2026. Thanks for watching. Let's keep it simple.